Today we have the pleasure of interviewing Brooke Linford, a professional dancer with the Joffrey Ballet. So our teens have a lot of questions for you, Brooke. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
Of course, I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you. So when did you decide you wanted to be a professional dancer?
So I have been dancing since the age of 5. My older sisters were in dance and I really wanted to be like them and wear their costumes, and so my mom put me in dance. I haven't stopped since then, but I didn't realize that like professional dancer was a career option that I could have. And when I was around 13 or 14, I started training more seriously, and my teachers were like, I think that this is something we could push for, and like I was like so happy to find that out. I was like what, I can do this, like. And then I kind of just like had tunnel vision for it. I was like, this is what I want to do. This is like everything. And it was, I just wanted to always be dancing.
Awesome. And tell us about how you got to where you are, like what work you put in, any sacrifices you made, or any lucky breaks or anything along those lines.
I was really lucky that I was in a class that I was one of the older people. I was actually one of the last people in my class to get my pointe shoes, and I was kind of behind for my age technically. And I was lucky that one of my teachers saw potential, and they were doing YGP, Youth America Grand Prix, which is a ballet competition. And they were selecting a couple students to do that. And they selected me even though I was far behind. And that gave me the push I needed to really work and to really kind of put myself in the game. And I mean, if they didn't take that chance on me, like I probably wouldn't have made it to where I am now.
Well, I've seen some of your videos and I imagine you would have, but that's very interesting. And so what is your favorite part of being a professional dancer?
The best part is definitely that, I mean, I have a job that is my dream. So I get paid and I can pay my bills, but it's doing what I love and what I have a passion for. The best part's performing, for sure. But the bulk of it is rehearsing and, you know, working on yourself, which isn't as fun, but when you have a goal at the end of it, it makes it worth it.
Awesome. And so what's your least favorite part of your career?
My least favorite part is when you are that passionate about something, when things don't go the way you want it to, it can hurt more, and you definitely have to keep positive to be able to keep going. You know, with dancing, it's such, you can see when things go wrong, if you fall out of a step or you don't do a pirouette, and if you keep working on it every day, it can be discouraging to keep working and not get it. But you have to remember that you are working on it, and that's what's the most important thing.
That's great. So as U4U is a members club for teen girls, we're curious to know insights about when you were a teen. And did you find your teenage years challenging or easy, and why?
I did find my teenage years challenging. I'm very shy, I'm very introverted. I had a really hard time making friends at school, and school was really hard for me. It was really hard for me to focus and get my work done, so that was definitely something I had to push in order to do. And I was really grateful for my mom to be like, you have to do this, you know, you have to get your school done, it's so important. And it was really hard for me, but I mean, it set me up to be like, oh, I can do things in my life that I don't like to do, but I can get it done and it can help me. Because when you're doing something you don't like to do, you feel like, I just can't do it. But you can. It doesn't mean you're going to like it, but you can do it.
So true. And can you share any funny or difficult or hindering experiences you had as a teenager?
I think for a funny thing is, like, for dancing when I was a teenager, I felt like I was really confident, and maybe too confident in that I was like, I am like the end all be all at dance. Like, I have so many goals, which I think helps because it's a little bit like fake it till you make it. It does kind of work. But hindering, I think, is just all the comparison. Instead of using other people's talents to inspire me to work harder, I a little bit was like, oh, I can't do that, and like just it kind of shut down. So I really wish I would have used it more for my advantage.
Oh, that's interesting. And what is one of the funniest things you've experienced as a dancer? Something that happened on the stage or off the stage or just in general?
Live theater can be so funny because anything can happen, and I've definitely fallen on stage before in front of a live audience in the front, and you just kind of have to roll with it because you can practice it a million times and then it can go wrong, but then it goes wrong and nothing really bad happens besides being embarrassed. The funniest thing I would say is my partner's shoe came off on stage one time, and it was just sitting in the middle, and I was dancing with him, and he had just a sock on, and I couldn't stop laughing.
Oh my God.
And it was making it so hard to dance because I couldn't stop laughing. And yeah, I'll always remember that.
Oh, that's hysterical. Okay, so if you were presented with the unique opportunity to dance in a show that was performed under the depths of the ocean or in outer space, which would you choose and why?
So I would choose the depths of the ocean because I think outer space is it's kind of far to get to, and I think the ocean would be closer. I am a little bit more of a snorkeler than a scuba diver though, so I think I would have to get over the fear of being under the water, but I think it could be a really cool place to dance.
Okay, so if it happens, it's been heard here first. No? Okay, so in closing, what do you know now that you wish you knew as a teenager?
I know now that I can do hard things, I can get through hard times. When I was in my late teens, I went through a period of depression that I didn't know at the time was depression until a couple years later, and so I know now kind of the checklist of things to watch for and to check in on myself and to make sure I'm taking care of myself, and that it's important to do. And I wish I would have known then that I had depression because I think I would have been easier on myself, and but now I know that I can take care of it and it's manageable, and yeah.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. And we might have to follow up with you on that in a written article to get those tips, because I'm sure that would help many of our members. And any concluding messages for teen girls?
Well, the main concluding message is follow your dreams, of course, because it can really pay off and it can happen. It's possible.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to catching up with you again soon.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh.